This is the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay, and this is a Tay Short episode. I'm not sure, but on this episode, I want to talk about Hyrox. Have you heard of it? It is a fitness race that combines strength training and cardio. So I don't know what to really compare it to. Maybe CrossFit, if you're familiar with it, maybe kind of. Anyway, I started hearing about this really earlier this year, late last year. Some YouTube channels I follow, mainly fitness folks, were training for their first Hyrox. What is this? And I've kept seeing other videos and I've seen clips on Instagram about it. I'm like, oh, okay, this looks pretty cool, intense, and I don't know. Because every time I see something in the back of my mind, I'm like, can I do this? Do I want to do this? Will I do this? So I kind of put it out in my head and I was like, oh, okay. Then I just I started seeing more and more videos from people either giving you tips on how to do your first Hyrox or a recap of their first Hyrox. And it was always like, yeah, this is my first one. So you're going to do multiple of them? I'll explain a little bit about what it is. But it was started in 2017 by two guys from Germany. And ever since then, it's been blowing up, and they have them all over. We're talking Japan, China, Brazil, the States, Mexico, different parts of Europe. I think this year they're going to Argentina. So they're in a lot of places. And they do events throughout the year. So what is Hyrox exactly? So you run, like I said, cardio and strength training. So you run 1 kilometer around the arena, 1 kilometer. Then you go to one functional fitness station. Then you run another kilometer. Then you go to another functional fitness station. Then you back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you do this all together 16 times. So it's 8 rounds. Well, I say 16 times because if you combine the run and the fitness station, it's 16. But it's actually 8 rounds because they count it as 1 round. You do the skier, where you're like pulling down. You do that. You do a sled pull, you do a sled push, and it's different weights depending on if you're doing like the open. The open is for everyday people, right? And then they have the pro, and those are for people who qualify and who have trained, and like you'll train for the open as well, but I can do the open, and then someone who has been training and who has qualified and from doing different Hyrox can now qualify as a pro. But there's different ways for women and men, and then for pro women and pro men. Then there's the wall balls. That's where you throw the medicine ball up. Then you have farmer's carry with kettlebells. You have sandbag lunges. Put a sandbag on your back and lunge. Then you have burpee broad jumps, rowing. And I think that's it. Anyway, you do 8 functional stations and then you run 1 kilometer. I've watched the videos. I see why people would be interested in this, because this is a challenge. Because if you're a runner, you have the running component down, but then you have to do, in addition to running, you have to do this functional station. You have to push this sled, or you have to do these burpee broad jumps, then go back to running. And then if you are strength training, you're like, well, I got this down, I can push and pull and, but then you have to run and get back to that. So it's definitely a challenge. I'm thinking about it, but before I make any type of decision, I'm going to volunteer for the one that's happening here in New York at the end of May. So I'll really get a chance to see how it is. And then I can make my decision from there. Yeah. So one of 2 things will happen. The first thing, I'll get excited. I'm like, yes, I can do this. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. Or 2, it's not for me. I'll just stick to volunteering in watching videos on YouTube of people who do it. I think my gut feeling is that I am probably gonna want to do it because it is a challenge. And if you know me, I like a challenge, so we'll see. I've even mentioned it to a couple cousins and asked them about it and if they would. And they said, yeah. I think they said, yeah, just how I said it. Like, yeah. In their mind, they're probably like, what is Tasia trying to get me into? Listen, so I guess we'll decide to do one in the fall, so we have some time to train and really decide if this is something that we want to do. So we'll figure it out. But it's 3 of us so far. Maybe I'll ask someone else if they want to do it. We can either do a solo by ourselves, we could do a double, or we can do a relay. And if we get a 4th person, maybe we'll do the relay. Since it's our first one, we can get a feel for it. If not, I'm happy to do it solo or with a partner. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll be making another video if I'm actually doing the Hyrox. But they do have Hyrox affiliate gyms. I don't plan to join one until I fully know that I'm going to do this thing. Then I'll look for one and start training there, and then do some training on my own, do the running. I have a little medicine ball I got from Five Below. I can practice with that. I have a couple kettlebells and dumbbells that I can practice doing my farmer's carry. I could do a burpee broad jump. So the only things I really couldn't do is the sled pull, the rowing, and the ski erg, because I don't have access to that. That's the only thing that, I do want to do everything at the fitness facility, but those are the main things that I would need to go to that facility for. But yeah, so Hyrox, am I doing it? I don't know. Have you heard of Hyrox? Is this something that you would be interested in doing? I'm not gonna lie, I've been telling people about this and seeing if they've heard of it and if they are interested in doing this, because I don't know, it just seems really interesting to me, and it's definitely something that is for me. I don't know if I can do it. I mean, I can do it, but I don't know, because I'm not really a runner, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I don't care for the running. And then I have to push this weight, pull this weight, do 100 wall balls. It just seems really hard. And from the videos I've seen, people have said it is hard, but it is rewarding, it is fun. They again say, yeah, I can't wait to come back for the second one. This was my first one. So I don't know if I'll feel like that afterwards. But then again, you never know, especially with me. I'm saying I'm never doing that again. Oh, that was so hard. And then here I go. Sign up for another trail run. 10 miles at that. But after it's over, I think about it and I'm like, wow, I actually did this. It seems like it has that marathon feel. Like you do one marathon and you're like, all right, now I have to do the next one. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another one. It seems like that's how people are treating this. They do with their first Hyrox, get a taste for it. Then they do their second one. They try to beat the time. Like I said, they have them all over the world. Now I can go to Germany and do one. I can go to Japan and do one. The course, though, is the same. So you're not going to get something different in Germany that you're going to get in New York. It's basically the same. Like some little, tweaks, maybe different. Some little things may be slightly different, but it's basically the same course. So yeah, I'll keep you posted if I decide to do a Hyrox. And if you decide to do a Hyrox, please let me know in the comments. Shoot me a DM. I want to know. And then if you do it, let me know how your experience was. I don't think you get a medal. That's one thing, right? You don't get a medal. You get some things. I think you get a patch. I have seen like these lanyards around people's necks. I don't know what that is. I do see a lot of people after they finish, they go and they take their picture behind the time. And I think you can get a video done from them, right? You can have people come watch They do have to pay, but it's not, that expensive to me. But people can come watch, they can come cheer you on. It's like you're in this arena, this hall, and you know, it just seems so exciting, right? People screaming for you, like, go ahead. It seems really cool. But yeah, no real Hyrox medal. I need to talk to the guys about that. Come on, guys. Give the people medals. I want a medal. I do. But even if you don't get a medal, I think it's pretty cool that you challenge yourself to do this. Again, everyday folks are doing this, all age groups. I think you do have to be 16 years old to participate, 16 all the way up. And fitness levels from the people that are in the gym every day, the fitness folks, to someone who, goes to the gym once in a while. The runners, you have the strength trainers. A lot of people are doing the Hyrox. So, yeah, it's a fitness race for all. So, with that note, again, let me know, is Hyrox something that you think you would do? If not, would you volunteer? Would you be like me? Would you volunteer first? Would you be in the stands? Let me know. Thanks for listening, watching, and subscribing. See you on the next one. Peace.